Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. How are you doing? How is everyone doing today? Happy new month. This is our first session in the month of. Okay, I'm trying to see if we are. Okay, we're live on Facebook in the month of July. This is our first session, so happy new month. Happy new month. How is the month going so far? Second half of the year. Big deal, but don't sweat it either. I've come to see that many a times we get so caught up in, oh, the year is gone, first half of the year, second half of the year, what have you. And we miss a lot of things in so doing. So don't get too caught up in the fact that we're in the second half of the year. Yes, it is the second half, but also it also means that we have a whole 6 months. A whole 6 months or 5 months plus. Don't look at it that 6 months have gone only. Yes, 6 months have passed, but also you still have 6 months to do so much. So, welcome to the month of July. And for this month of July, we are going to be looking at seasons of life. Seasons of life. That's going to be our general theme this month of July. Just a second. Okay. Okay, just trying to send out a message. Oh, Lordy. Good thing I caught that in time. I saw that I made a mistake. Yeah. So I was saying that we should not get too caught up in the fact that the year has gone halfway. Yes, it has gone halfway. For sure, you can't change that. But you can also realize that you have 6 more months to do whatever you need to do to achieve what you need to achieve. So we are looking at seasons this month of seasons of life, this month of July. And we're going to be talking about something we all experience. Is not particular to any one person. We all experience seasons of life. Life is not static, we know. It's not even meant to be static. It's meant to be changing. It's meant to, transform. They're meant to be ebbs and flows and all that. So just like, in nature, we have the seasons. We have winter, spring, summer, fall. We have, harmattan, dry season in Nigeria and all that. So there, seasons of life is natural. It's part of life. We have times of growth. We have times of waiting. We have times of abundance. We have times of transition. We have times of pruning. We have times of loss. So the seasons exist. The problem most times that we don't recognize when our season has changed. We don't recognize when we need to move on. We don't recognize when it's time for something else. We keep trying to force the old habits. We keep trying to apply the same strategy we've been applying. But that old strategy cannot work in the new season. It's just like trying to raise a child, and the child is now past baby toddler age, and you're still applying the same strategy you used when they were a toddler to like a teenager, for example. It cannot work. Seasons have changed, things have changed. And one skill that we need in life is the skill called discernment, knowing when Seasons have changed. Understanding, what season you're in, understanding what that season requires, and being able to respond wisely to that. So today's topic is why what worked before may not work now. Knowing your seasons. Knowing your seasons, understanding why what worked before may not work now. Last month we talked about power and personal authority. We did a lot of things in that area. We talked about building quiet confidence. We talked about developing personal credibility. We looked at growing influence without manipulating people. We talked about earning respect and building respect and all that. That was all last month. And so we are moving forward now because you can be a person of influence. You can have all the influence in this world and still not be successful and still not make it, in quote, just because you didn't understand the season where you were. You didn't understand. You can have wisdom, but you're applying that wisdom at the wrong time. Sorry, you're applying that wisdom at the wrong time. You can work hard, incredibly hard, and you're not getting commensurate habit. And that's possibly because you're planting during harvest season or you're harvesting during sowing season. So you do need to understand your seasons, what seasons you are. So it's not always about what you do, but when you do what you do. Very important. That's why I said discernment is a skill that is relevant, is important in this season. So understanding your seasons. When I say understanding our seasons, what is a season? Let me start from there. What is a season? Not, we all know season as per the weather. We understand that. It's rainy season, it's dry season, it's harmattan if you're in Nigeria, it's winter, spring, summer, fall if you're outside of Nigeria. So we know seasons in that way, but a season is also like a distinct period of life that is characterized by unique circumstances, responsibilities, opportunities, challenges, and lessons. And this thing requires a particular way of thinking, a way of behavior, and a way of responding. Simply put, a season is that specific period in your life where your circumstances, your responsibilities, your opportunities change and is requiring you to adjust your mindset, to adjust your habits, to adjust the actions that you take so that you can grow well. So that is a season. And every season has its own unique demands, has its own unique opportunities, has its own unique responsibilities that come with it, has its own unique growth lessons that come with it. Every season that we go through in life has these unique demands, unique opportunities, unique responsibilities, and growth lessons. And these seasons we're talking about is not necessarily age related. It doesn't mean it goes because you're older. You can be young and still go through some of these seasons. It's defined but by what life is asking of you right now. What life is asking of you right now. And you need to know your seasons. You need to understand where you are. You need to recognize where you are in your life's journey. And you need to begin to adjust your expectations, begin to adjust your priorities, begin to adjust your habits, your decisions according to where you are. It means asking questions like, what is God teaching me in this time? What is it teaching me now? It means asking questions like, what should I be focusing on right now? Questions like, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to take in? What skills do I need to develop? What no longer serves me? It means asking those questions. And those questions are very, very important. and very, very valid. It is essential that we ask some of these questions because, nobody wants to be stuck in a season and not realize that is the season they're in. Because you find that things are not working. Things are not working for you. You look to your right, things are not working. You look to your left, things are not working. And it's not because you're not putting in the effort. It's simply because you have not realized the season you're in and begun to make the adjustments necessary for that season. So, of course, I said responding wisely, which means aligning your actions. Basically, aligning your actions with your current reality instead of clinging to some past reality. This is not you hiding your head in the sand. No. You ask yourself the relevant questions and you respond based on the response you got from the questions you asked yourself. So it means being wise because wisdom is not just knowing things, it's applying the things you know, applying the right principles at the right time in the right way. That is wisdom. And that is what is necessary to respond wisely to the seasons of your life. Now, I'm just going to give us a few scientific studies that have been done, researches. I found that in developmental psychology, they have shown that adulthood, this adulthood they're talking about, is not one continuous experience, first of all. It's a series of developmental transitions that we go through. And we need to be able to recognize these transitions and align to be able to keep growing. I saw, let me find the name. Yes, there's a psychologist called Daniel Levinson, and he said that life is unfolding in life structures. Life structures. That's where every few years people naturally experience periods of stability, and then these periods are followed by periods of transition. And these transitions, they require the person to redefine who they are. They require the person to redefine their priorities, to redefine their goals. Now another developmental psychologist, Eric Erickson, also said that each stage of life presents unique psychosocial skills. Each stage of life, and being able to successfully navigate one stage prepares you for the next. And we can see that this is true. See, this is even not just true in developmental psychology, it's true in biblical terms. It's also true in biblical terms because the Bible also tells us the same thing. So we know we can be rest assured that life is in seasons. Life is in seasons. The Bible tells us to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the earth, under the heavens. So life is in seasons, and we need to be able to recognize these seasons, be able to understand what season we're in and what this season requires of us. That is the important thing we need to take away because what worked before maybe it's not working now. And we need to ask ourselves, why is it? Why is it that what worked before is no longer working now? And one of the reasons could be because you have changed, you've grown. The person you were 5 years ago is not the person you are today. You have grown. You've matured. So one of the reasons why what worked before may not work now is because you have grown. Your responsibilities have changed. Your experiences have changed. And your experiences, the things that have happened to you, they are meant to add to you. The things you have gone through, they are meant to add to you. So you have grown. You can't be the same person. And you need to understand that this is possibly why the things that used to work, they're no longer working. You have learned some things. You have matured in some areas. Growth has happened to you, and growth brings capacity. So you have changed. That could be one reason why what worked before is no longer working now. Another thing is because your environment has changed. So it's not just that you have changed. Even if you have not changed, your environment has changed. Technology has changed. We're talking of AI today. We're not talking of AI some years back. Or even if we were talking about it, it was not as prevalent as it is now. So technology has changed. Where you're working has changed. The economy has changed. The environment around you has changed. Your family dynamics have changed. Maybe you're like me, all your children have grown. Your family dynamics have changed. Or the children are no longer small, they're bigger. Your family dynamics have changed. You got married. Some things have changed. So, because things have changed, your environment has changed, you need your methods to also change, to also evolve, to also align. Another reason could be because your assignment itself has changed. The reason that you're on this earth, God has promoted you and has given you a higher assignment. That could be why what worked before is no longer working now. The assignment has changed. And when you have been promoted, that promotion requires different habits from you. When we look at the Bible, um, let me give this example. We know the story of David and Goliath and everything. One thing that I consider there is that David could not fight Goliath with Saul's armor. He couldn't because the environment was different, the person was different, the assignment was different. So the strategy needed to be different. So we sometimes what worked before is not working because the assignment has changed. And we need to remain discerning enough to notice that the assignment has changed. It could also be that the people around you have changed. So it's not just that you have changed, your environment has changed, the assignment has changed, but the people around you have changed. Like I mentioned, you got married, definitely. The people around you have changed, or your children have grown, definitely, once again, the people around you have changed. Or you got promoted in the office, the people around you have changed. So every new role that we come into in life requires new habits, requires new habits. Or maybe you've retired, the people around you, once again, have changed. Or it could be because God is doing something new. Sometimes the things that were working before, they're not working now, simply because God is just doing a new thing in your life. And you need to be discerning. We're not ignoring our past in this understanding of seasons and working out our sins. You're not ignoring your past, though, but you're not being trapped by it either. Understand that some things changed. And because some things have changed, there is a need for you to adjust. You're not throwing away your values. You're not throwing away the things that you do, the things you know, the way that you've been working with God. You're not throwing away any of that. You're not throwing away what happened to you in the past. How you're not throwing away your past, but you're also not being trapped by it. Very key and very important. Don't be trapped by your past. What are some of the signs you may have entered a new season? What are some of the things that you see around you that can give you a cue that you have entered a new season? One is that things that once excited you, they're no longer exciting you. Once you begin to feel like that, check. You may have entered a new season. Another thing is that you're feeling restless and you can't understand why. You're just restless and you can't explain really why am I restless. It could be that you have entered a new season. It could be that you have entered a new season. New opportunities just keep appearing around you. Could be that you've entered a new season. Some old relationships. Sorry, I just want to check on our Facebook page. Um, okay, we are live here. Just want to check on the growth habits page. Give me 1 minute. So yes, it could be that new opportunities just keep appearing around you. That is evidence that you have changed, or that you're entering a new season. Okay, yes, we are live. I just realized that I didn't check whether we were live on our growth habits page. All right, so, or it could be that you notice that your priorities have shifted. It could be that you're entering a new season. These are some of the things that will happen in and around you that should give you a cue that you're entering a new season. The old routines, they just don't feel right anymore. They kind of feel forced now. You could be entering a new season, or you're craving growth in and around you. You could be entering a new season. Now, these things that I've mentioned, they're not necessarily a sign that something is wrong. They're just an invitation for you to sit and review and discern what the new season you're going into requires. Some common mistakes that we make when we begin to experience these things is, one, we begin to fight. There's no need fighting the season. Just understand it. Understand it. Know what needs to be done and do it. What adjustments need to be done and just do it. The another mistake we make is comparing, doing comparisons of this new season we are entering with our past season. Why are you comparing? They're not the same. You can't compare apples with oranges. You have to compare apples and apples. So if you must really do it, if you must, there's no need for comparison. But if you must, then compare same seasons. Another mistake that we make sometimes is we try to rush through those seasons of life. There's no need to rush. Take your time. Take your time. But understand the season. That is the key thing. Understand the season. Another mistake that we make is refusing to let go of the past. I repeat, the past is important. You can't throw it away. You're not meant to throw away your past. You're not meant to throw away the lessons you learned previously. You're meant to apply them. So don't hold on so tightly to the past that you forget to move forward to the future. Don't hold on so tightly to the past. To the past. Refusing to let go is a common mistake we make when we are in this new season, or when we are trying to transition into a new season. And then another mistake is assuming that the seasons, each one that we are in, lasts forever. They don't. They don't. That's why they are seasons. They don't. That time you are in now, everything looks hard. It doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. It has an expiry date. It has an expiry date. There is a time that that season will be over. So don't assume that every season lasts forever. They don't. Now, how do we respond wisely to these changing seasons in our lives? One, pause before you react to the new seasons. Pause, take a minute, think, ponder, ask yourself questions. Ask yourself why questions. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? I've said this severally in several of my broadcasts. We don't interrogate our emotions enough. That is why we get stuck sometimes in the funk that we get stuck in. Why am I feeling this? It's not because somebody did something to you. That is not why. There's a reason why you are being triggered by this thing. So interrogate the season before you react to it. And I always say, don't react, respond. No need reacting. Then pray before you make decisions. So important for we that are Christians. Pray, ask God, talk to Him, get His perspective on this new season. Learn what this season that you're going into requires. Find out what is required of me in this new season that I'm going into. What is required of me? Find out. Learn it. Understand it. Release what no longer fits. Let go. It's not easy, but doable. Very, very doable. Let go of what does not fit. When when you x-ray your life, when you study your life and look at where you are, excuse me, and you interrogate your emotions, your feelings, why am I feeling what I'm feeling, what is happening in and around me at this time, release what no longer fits. You will find the things that no longer fit. Let go of them. There's no need holding on. And then build the habits that will support your next season. This next season you're moving into, that you have discerned, that you have seen, that you're moving into. Get the habits, obtain the habits, build the habits that will support this your next season. Very important. Very key. Now, in doing the reflection and trying to interrogate our emotions and try to figure out what season we are in our life, we need to ask ourselves, for example, what has changed in my life recently? What changed? What is different? We need to ask what habits are still serving me. As I said, because I said you need to interrogate your habits and release the ones that no longer serve you, then build the ones you need to move forward. So, what habits are serving me in this season? What habits or mindset no longer fit who I am becoming? This is the key, I think, many a times, and is a key we miss many times. What habits or mindsets no longer fit who I am becoming, not who I am currently. Because for you to be experiencing this change, these feelings of something is missing and all that, you're becoming someone, you're growing, growth is happening. So, what habits, what mindsets do not fit with who I'm becoming? We need to ask ourselves this question and get an answer. It's not enough to just ask, get an answer. Why am I resisting change? That's the next question. Why am I resisting change? Am I resisting this change because it just feels uncomfortable? Why are you resisting the change? These are questions you need to ask yourself as you're moving into this new season of life, or you're seeing that you're in between seasons. By the time you answer these questions and you answer them truthfully to yourself, you will know how to move forward into this next season that you are to be in. As we conclude this session today, one of the most frustrating things we do as human beings is to try to relive a season that has already passed. It's so frustrating to be in that situation where you're trying to relive a season that has already passed. And one of the best things that can happen to you as a human being is to embrace the new season that you're moving into. Whatever it may be, truly, whatever that season may be, embrace it. Remember that every season has a purpose. Every season in life, the good, the bad, the ugly of the seasons, the season where you were in lack, the season where you experienced loss, the season where you were winning left, right, and center, they all have a purpose. Find that purpose. Very important. Find that purpose. Because, for example, in your season of waiting, it teaches you trust, teaches you patience. Your growing season, for example, helps build character. Helps build character. So every season has a purpose. And even that transition season, that time you're in between, still trying to figure out, even that season prepares you for what comes next. So every season in life has a purpose, and we need to learn that every season has a purpose, learn from it, grow through it, and trust God through it all. Trust in His goodness through it all. And as we conclude, I want to put in our declaration for this week. I hope we have been saying these declarations. I want to believe that we have been saying these declarations all the while, because I've tried to make sure that every session ends with a declaration. Okay, I'm saying that. I've posted it on Facebook. I've posted it on YouTube, LinkedIn. Let me post on Instagram. Okay, Instagram, I always have to break it up into two because it's always too long for Instagram. Okay. Okay, let me push the second part on Instagram. Then we will say it together. Remember that we are meant to say this aloud. Say it aloud to yourself. You can do it in the morning. And do it in the morning, do it in the night, do it during the day. It's really irrelevant what time that you do the declarations. The important thing is that you do them. So we're going to declare together today, I discern my season and I respond with wisdom. I release what no longer serves God's purpose in my life and I embrace the new things He is doing. I refuse to live in yesterday when God has prepared a greater tomorrow. I will not miss my season through fear, through doubt, or delay. I walk in God's timing, guided by His wisdom and strengthened by His grace. This is my season to grow, to flourish, and to become all God has called me to be. Yes, please say this to yourself. Speak it over yourself. And I hope to see you next week, Tuesday, right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember to make today and every day count. Be valuable in all you do and ensure that you are growing. Next week, we're going to talk about when life changes without your permission. Yeah, that's what we're going to look at. We explore how to respond with resilience, with faith when the unexpected happens. When the unexpected disrupt your well-organized plans, disrupt your well-organized life, and then forces you into a new season. This is not even that you were preparing for it, it just forces you into a new season. That's what we're going to talk about next week. So thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon on Growth Habits with Ngozi. I said I will be reminding us after each session. Remember, I have a whole slot of books out. Go to Seller, type in my name. It will show you all my books. Go to Amazon, type in my name. It will show you all my books. But let me see if I can quickly get those links for us and post today so that we can get the books. Oh, Lord. Technology, as they say. Yes, so and I also want to thank each and every one of us that's engaged in our menopause series. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope someone got something valuable from that series. It was born out of a question someone asked me about some things that were happening with them. So I was like, okay, since I've gone through this season, let me just put in a few things that I experienced and that I saw that helped also. Okay, let me copy. All right, so I'm going to paste the links so that you can get my books. Also on Facebook, I discovered that you can subscribe, will I call it, to my page on Facebook. I guess that's what it's called. And when you do, well, it's cost something. So I can't remember how much now, but I know it's not much. So you do get some things that others wouldn't get. So you can do that. Okay, I'm trying to correct. Okay, so you can subscribe to my page on Facebook and you will get some content that others would not get. Please do get one or two of my books. They are very, the thing did not post the way I wanted, but please just get them. I've posted the links to Amazon and Seller. Do avail yourself and get one or two or three or all of my books. Thank you once again for joining. If you join live, thank you so much. If you're watching the replay, God bless you. Thank you for always dedicating this time to your growth, to our growth. Because remember that I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Because I don't just show you, I don't just tell you about growth. I actually go on the growth journey with you. Thank you for joining me and see you next week, Tuesday, right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. The time remains 12 noon Nigerian time. Thank you and